following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Tuesday. Your favorite trio back in the mix.
I know, man. We was gone a week. We don't want to, as today's episode goes, we don't want to point any fingers.
Yeah, this is what we don't
why we weren't on the air last week, but all I can say is it wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
Well,
wait.
do the math.
Way to start out with the Orlando Scandrick type.
Here we go. Another week. I thought we had a bye week.
Okay, so you just reading straight from the Orlando Scandrick script.
I was actually being honest.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I was being honest.
Orlando thought he was too. Okay.
Well, hey, man sees what he sees.
He sees stuff differently.
He sees what he sees.
Okay, I see the kind of team we running here, man.
Hey, Newy, welcome back.
Hey, yeah, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah, we missed you last week.
Okay, so fine. Let's start off the Players Lounge with an explanation here.
All right.
So, last week, we didn't have a show because my flight didn't get back from New Jersey until 4 o'clock. Now, I couldn't change the flight without a severe financial penalty because you know how the airlines work. Mm-hmm. So, couldn't do that. The flight was booked this summer before the show had even been created.
All sounds valid.
It
sounds
So
valid.
my first thought in talking to Big Boss Man, can we do it Wednesday? But you two had a golf outing. So we didn't do it Wednesday. I suggested Thursday. I didn't hear anything. So that was when it moved to next week. So that's what.
Did you try to push that onto?
No. I'm giving you explanation.
Yeah. So we didn't make it Tuesday.
What had happened was,
and then Wednesday we were busy, so it was our fault.
No. These were suggestions of what we were doing. That wasn't the airline's fault. Just you know how it is changing the plane ticket.
It's a little pricey.
It's a costly deal, especially coming out when you're trying to change it on. After a Cowboy game. So anyway, bottom line, that's what happened. I couldn't get on an earlier flight either, so it was what it was. So we're back now.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you could have called me this
Okay,
so I see.
Welcome back, Newy. Welcome back.
See what type of show we're going to do now.
We're happy to have you.
Okay. Put your Scandrick knife down if you want to.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Take my jacket off because it's about to get heated.
Yes, it is. It is about to get heated here.
It's cold as a mug outside right now.
Come on, man. You from Pittsburgh.
And I ain't going back up north. And I'll tell you that that's the reason I ain't going back. It's too
This the same
damn
dude that just
cold.
said it's too hot in Texas.
Hey.
He wanted to move.
Hey, I got to be right in the middle. It got to be right.
All right.
Can I be in the middle?
All right, two former Cowboy safeties here for an hour, and we've got a lot to get into. We've got our football phrase of the day. We will dive into that. I do want to get into this combination. We'll do it later on the show of Dak Prescott to Amari Cooper and comparing it to one you guys played with, Tony Romo to Dez Bryant. So we want to get into there. The tight end situation, Blake Jarwin having another game there where we're seeing him make a play. Should his playing time increase? We'll get into the college football playoff. Ohio State was ranked number 1. They have another unveiling tonight. Should Ohio State stay number 1? Should there be a change based on what we saw in the SEC this week? We have a food debate here. Sugar and grits.
It's a must.
Sugar and grits. Some people think the sugar should go in grits, and some people believe that it shouldn't. So we will debate that here on the show today. But let us start with this loss that we saw on NBC5 Sunday Night Football here. The Vikings came out and played well. And if you really think about it, what we thought about this game, two evenly matched teams, and we saw how it ended up turning out. Cowboys lose the game 28-24. They fall to 5-4. Now they are in a first-place tie with Philadelphia. They own the tiebreaker because they beat Philly on Sunday Night Football last month. But as a player, how do you get past another loss where you can sit here and start counting on your fingers mistakes that you made as a Cowboy player that prevented you from winning. How do you get past this as you get towards, and you have to look towards a road game against the Lions coming up on Sunday?
Which the Lions are no slouch, man. I mean, Stafford's out here. If he does play, there's no slouch out there. But I mean, you just got to break down that film. I know defensively, I mean, there was a lot of missed tackles out there. You know, a lot of bad angles taken. Cook just looked like a different type of runner, man. He just looked explosive.
Some of that gap responsibility that we talked about.
We saw a lot of peeking in gaps, and that's why you saw. I mean, they were running through holes that looked ginormous, but. I mean, some guys were peeking in and out.
They got on Woods so quick. I know he was in his back pedal a few times, and it was like, I'm still backpedaling. How did Cook get up here so fast?
And the play calling from the Minnesota side, I thought was excellent. I mean, the way they used the aggression from the front four and used that against them, used that speed against them by hitting them with screen passes, slowing that down, and that gave Kirk Cousins a little bit more time to kind of dissect this defense. I mean, I know we talked about it earlier. You don't want to give him enough credit, but I thought he played a pretty good game against this defense.
He did. I think they played the game that we planned on playing against them, make them stop the run, and they said they would do the same thing to us, and we didn't stop the run.
Only different Zimmer,
run and screen and cook, and then that just opened it up for Kirk Cousins.
Okay. Stay right there. Now, this is just me. You guys played, I didn't. So help me understand just my eyes. My eyes are telling me that Gary Kubiak and company went and saw the film. Here's what the Colts did last year when they beat the Cowboys. Here's what Sean McVay and the Rams did in the playoffs. This is what the Green Bay Packers did. We're going to figure out how we can run it on these guys, and they won't make any changes, and we're just going to keep on going. And except for they had that great ability, as you talked about, to screen game. Oh, you think it's a run? Nah. And that for me was just, I was just trying to. It was tough to watch because right now there's a blueprint. It seems to beat the Cowboys, run the football, go up front, go out physical, and you can win a game.
There's a blueprint print defensively. I thought we played pretty well on offense. I think the way that they –
That's what I'm talking about right
now. Defensively, that is the blueprint. Make us stop the run, and we haven't been able to, and that's the way we lose the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to stop any offense in the league when you can make them balanced, or you don't make them choose which way to go. Like if I was, if I was playing for the Cowboys at that time, I would have wanted, Kirk Cousins to try to beat us with his arm. But it's hard when you got to go, man. We got to try to figure out a way to stop Cook. We got to find a way to stop these screens. And Kirk Cousins is throwing the digs a little bit. It's hard, man, when you keep a defense off balance like that. It's tough.
153 yards of rushing on the ground. Man. And the Madison kid, the Alexander Madison
kid. He looked just as good.
I mean, they didn't drop off.
We weren't stopping the run against anybody that game. Like I said, it didn't look good. It looked like we got a little bit out physical on the defensive line, a little bit on our front. Their line was better than I had expected them to be.
And they lost two people, I think, during the game.
And they didn't play like it.
At all. I mean, there was runs where Cook wasn't getting touched 5 yards until the
zone scheme?
It was nuts. And on the other side of the ball, I think Zimmer did a great job of just saying, look, we're going to make y'all beat us through the air. He left his corners out to dry. I mean, and they did get abused by Mario. They did get abused. But he said, look, Zeke's not going to beat us.
21's not beating us.
He's not beating us. Y'all can keep running him into this wall if y'all want to, but he's not beating us.
But the thing is, we've played against teams that have said the same thing, and we've produced against them. So, like, we go into the game knowing, hey, they're going to try to stop Zeke. And we've been able to still get Zeke going, get him some yards,
somehow,
get him
some way.
And then
Sunday night, and they didn't have their best run stopper. They didn't have Linval Joseph either.
No.
So it's confusing.
Missing Adam Thielen, another receiver. Stephon Diggs really had one good catch on the sideline, and that's kind of the maddening thing when you start to look at some of the things that happened in this football game where the Cowboys had every opportunity. This thing was designed for them at home to get a win, and it gets away. But defensively, that's the thing for me right now is if you know how to run the football, you're going to do it. Now, Detroit doesn't have a running back that can produce like Cook. But Matt Patricia, being a former New England Patriots assistant, is going to come do what Zimmer did, say, we're stopping 21.
Yep.
20. Right. The next two games,
and the game plan will be to
stop 21.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
they got a corner out there, Slay. He can match up with him.
And as we say every week before we go into these games, it's the Lions. They may not have Matt Stafford, blah, blah, blah. Do not sleep on the Lions. They're not a bad team. They're a competitive team.
After
when
the
they have
Jets,
their
I don't think
quarterback,
you
they're
have
pretty
to say
good.
this.
Yeah.
After the Jets, I don't think you have to say this.
You think so?
I don't. Look, I mean, the next 7 teams that the Cowboys play have combined records of 32, 30, and 1.
But when I say sleep, I'm also talking about what you tweeted about, I believe, yesterday or today, that this is a real issue. You said this is a real issue of us coming out sleepwalking on these games.
This is true.
If it's a real issue, then is it the mindset of the player? Are we really sleep when we come out here on the field and then we wake up at halftime?
I don't know. Like you said, you can't keep battling back. You know,
you can't. This is almost every game.
A great point you made, and I've got to pull it up here. Bob Sturm of The Athletic wrote about in the Cowboys' 4 losses in the first half. I think the numbers they were outscored 75-9.
Which is ridiculous.
In the first half.
That's nuts.
So this is not it's not some theory. It's not just fans saying you're not. No, they're coming out with slow starts here, and you're 31-3 or something to Green Bay. I mean, you're getting it handed to you.
And I wonder what could it be? Because it's like, as a player, man, you're not just going to come out there sleeping. You're not just going to come out and be like, I don't feel like playing this week.
That's why I go back to, I don't think it's the pregame speech. Is it the way that the plays are being called at the beginning? Is it trying to establish something that they're stopping, or like I'm gonna establish the run, so my first 5 or 6 plays are gonna be XYZ or whatever, and now we go 3 and out a couple times,
that's true.
And it's our slow starts versus running the stuff that you would run at halftime. When you come out of halftime, just run that stuff. So
right out of the gate, a 57-yard field goal attempt is.
I don't understand that one.
That's live by the sword, die by the sword.
My man didn't even hit the net.
Right. I was going to say, man, this thing just went left right out of the gate.
Right out the gate.
I mean, it had no shot. So now we talk about sudden change here. So, boom, hey, they've got the ball at the 47.
Damn near 50-yard line.
So
this is a situation that we are becoming too comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
Letting Maher attempt to kick a 50 or 60-yard field goal and feeling comfortable about it.
Do you think it's
not thinking about the consequence of, this dude, he could be 50% from 60 plus, but when he misses, sudden change.
Do you think it's like players thinking, we'll battle out of it. We'll come back from this. This ain't nothing. Is that, do you think, can attribute to the slow starts? Or like, I don't understand. I'm at a loss right now.
I think it's honestly a way that we're calling the game.
Could be.
Offensively. Defensively, I don't know. I don't know. It's not that many different defenses that you can run to get you a quick start.
The ball marching down the field on you first drive, you're like, man,
right.
We in for a long one.
See, but defensively, sometimes that happens, right? The offense comes out, they have some schemed up special plays and all that stuff. Our special plays don't seem to be getting called at the beginning of the game.
I'll tell you what was disrespectful. When they went down, I think it was a 9-play drive coming out of halftime. It might have been, but 7 of them were runs.
Yeah.
And they literally marched the ball all the way down.
It's called imposing your will. If you are not going to stop the run, we are going to run it.
They literally just bang, bobbing and weaving.
Jammed them all the way.
Oh, they got us. Hey, come on out, y'all. Come on out. They got us.
Yeah, man, it was rough to watch.
Yes.
Just knowing the players that we have on defense, the linebackers that we have, the defensive line that we have, safeties. We got corners that'll tackle. And none of that worked.
Every run.
None of that worked. And he looked amazing in previous games. So
it
wasn't like it wasn't a surprise that he would make some plays.
He's the number one running back, number one rusher coming into this thing. Tank Lawrence had said, not this week. That's what he said, not this week.
Not like this.
Unfortunately,
what happened I said I fell for the fool's
184 total yards.
The fool's goal from last week. They stopped Saquon, and I was like, right, they stopped Saquon. We good on Dalvin Cook, and then the next week, Saquon goes to his next team, and he has 13 rushes for 1 yard. And I was like, that's what it was.
Killing my fantasy football team. Just killing my fantasy football team.
So it wasn't. That's what happens in football too, right? So it wasn't us really being great.
Yeah,
they just weren't really that good at running the ball.
And if you think about it defensively, I think the last week against the Giants were 1-5 in the red zone. Minnesota was, I think, 3 for 5, 3 tubs.
Was it Rudolph?
We made Rudolph out here look like.
Rudolph. Come on. Since
you went there, you opened the door. Let me just go ahead and walk through the second play. Well, actually, when Dalvin Cook, all right, on the fourth down call, Rudolph blocks Van Der Esch. And I'm looking at that and I'm saying that just doesn't look like last year's Leighton Vander Esch. That Kyle Rudolph can block him.
He's not known for blocking either.
Oh, listen.
Thank you.
The neck is an important part of the body when you're playing football.
Shouldn't be playing.
And that's what I'm getting to. We're not seeing the 55 we saw last year. And he's had the injury, and he's saying after the football game, I'm okay. You guys know better than me. He doesn't look the same. So if he's not looking the same, and I also knew this because I was around Terrence Newman, I was around DeMarcus Ware, these guys didn't want to talk about the injuries. They was like, nope, we're not going to do it. We're not going to use excuses. But I'm just sitting here watching this, and I'm saying, I've got to believe something's not right with this young man because he doesn't look the same. And Kyle Rudolph blocking him on it, just him right there, and I know he had an edge, but still.
Yeah, so,
I know I said touchdown. I said, man, that didn't look right, man.
Something could be wrong with him, but like you said, I mean, as a player, you just not going to bring that even up as an excuse. You know what I mean? You're just going to be like, I mean, you might be ailing from something, right, and it really, really bothers you, but I mean, you just can't have those excuses because then you're going to get a stigma. I mean,
listen, I think we have the responsibility to understand, as being here, knowing that the guy has a neck injury, that there will probably be a little fall off in his play, and we saw it. You cannot play football without having the upper body at 100%.
Oh, that's a must.
Especially as a linebacker and a guy that needs to hit and extend, shock and create contact and separation, and he's not able to do that.
You might be able to get away with that at corner, but that linebacker...
or some plays at linebacker, right? If you chase it down the screen or something, you might not have an issue. But when you man-to-man,
you just gotta bow.
And you got to shock and
in the
create
hole.
that separation.
Nah, it ain't.
If you're not 100%, that's rough.
All right, Players Lounge right here on DallasCowboysRadio.com. We'll get into the play calling here, but before we do that, Barry, give everybody your social media info. Danny, same thing.
At Barry Church 42, that's both Twitter and Instagram.
At Danny DMac44 on Twitter, Danny_McCray 40 on Instagram.
All right, find me on Twitter at Newy Scruggs. It's NEWYSCRUGGS. It's NEWYSCRUGGS on Twitter, Facebook. It's Newy Scruggs Sports. So, despite everything that happened here, Dak Prescott is balling. Dak Prescott is. Mike Zimmer said 21 won't beat us. 4, show us if you can beat us. 4 was doing his part. They go down the field. They get to the 11-yard line. And
go ahead.
Everybody's playing armchair quarterback. Everybody looking back saying, I don't understand it. And Barry, something that you want to talk about here.
I mean, to me, I just, the whole sequence of events that happened, starting from the punt return, from Tavon Austin back there. From the TV perspective, because that's what I was watching the game at, from the television, it looked like he had 12 to 15 yards of free grass, to run, at least set up something.
20 plus.
20 plus, my man was telling me. So for him to just, fair catch that, and it looked like, and he's an experienced returner. He's not like a rookie out there just, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to fair catch this. Somebody had to say, fair catch just for the team or whatever. Something had to happen like that, because I don't think an experienced punt returner like that's going to see that much green grass, that much time left on the clock. And there it goes, right? Yeah, my man right here. And look at that, that's 20 yards.
If you rewind this, I know.
And he's looking dead at the coach. He's looking at somebody like, man, you sure that was the right call?
Everybody's going over this. So I would just like to rewind to the beginning. And this is how you can tell what was coached to the guys that are going to block. And there's a difference between that and the guy that's catching the ball. These guys are giving 100% effort and holding up, not blocking. The 37 and the guy next to him are coming out to be the wall with the lead blockers for Tavon Austin on this, right? So they're setting up. They're not taking the play off. They're not expecting the fair catch, because if they were, they would just all be jogging down, not doing much. So the communication from that front line, those guys who are working their butts off to go and block these guys and hold them up, is different from the communication that the returner got. That's obvious.
And as soon as he catches it, I mean, you can see him. He looks dead at the sideline. Like,
it's no question that there was bad communication on this. Not miscommunication, bad communication.
He's like, what y'all looking at me for? I'm doing what I was told. That's what it seemed like to me.
Look, Cheeto. Look, all these guys are coming down here setting up this wall on the
Thompson,
left.
He rolling. He like, yeah, that's what I was supposed. Yeah, what you mean? Like that? Man, I don't.
So who told him what? I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. Somebody said something wrong. I know we have some other stuff that's going on with some sources and all that. I don't have any.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to find out what happened.
We're gonna find out,
because it's leaks and cracks in there. Somebody's going to say something.
The streets is talking.
And I don't see somebody like Tavon falling on the sword for something that he didn't do, especially with all the attention that it's getting.
And then we're gonna go further on into the sequence of events that happened. I believe they got down to the 11-yard line, I think it was, and it was what, second and 4, maybe second and 2. Something like that.
Well, the punt was that was going into the last drive. But it was about the second to the last drive, where they got the ball all the way down to the 11.
We throw the out route.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which ended in the fourth down. It was run Zeke twice,
and then throw
then on the fourth down it was running. Yeah, he was catching.
You remember you had 2 100-yard receivers and we threw the ball.
We did, and my man Dak had the hot hand. He was driving them the whole way down.
Yeah, and so that sequence, it was great.
It was. I mean, I could see switching it up here and there just to get a run in, just to keep the defense unbalanced or whatever. But they decided to run an east-west. Like you got one of the best running backs that go north-south when he gets his pass square to the line of scrimmage, going north and south. You got one of the best running backs in the league, and to run, an east-west run like that, to give the defensive, opportunity to penetrate and create a tackle for loss like that, that just blows my mind right there. It went from 3rd and 2 to a 4th and 5, which that's a huge difference.
To tag on to that east-west, I think this is like the 3rd time we've seen that. It hasn't always been Zeke.
Dak.
I think Dak got stopped like that.
It was a third down in New York.
And I know how Jason Garrett thinks about running the ball and how serious he is about it and how much effort they put into it. I know they believe that it's man on man when you get into those situations. Our guys are better than yours, and running east-west, that doesn't show the trust that I'm expecting to see.
Even if he gets hit at the line of scrimmage,
it's
a no game. Yeah,
these are losses.
These are big time.
These are losses.
And then it, man.
Travis Frederick right there, not getting the ball. Look, I'm in the end zone because I'm getting ready to do the TV show, my TV show after. So I'm in the end zone watching this, and I'm simply saying to myself, dance with what brung you. That was Dak throwing the ball down the field. You get to the 11 and you decide to ditch what was working. They committed to stop 21. They stopped 21. You had how many more minutes before to get this game? I mean, it was almost 58 minutes
to get them rolling.
You had done in 58 minutes, but the last 2 minutes you're going to get it. That was the thing that when Prescott was playing so well. And for me, I'm thinking, I want him throwing it, but also knowing his ability to act like I'm going to throw it and then just keep going. We saw it with Russell Wilson last night on Monday Night Football. I mean, when you've got a quarterback that can use his legs in a smart way like Dak, that was what I was looking at and questioning to myself, saying, man, this seems like you didn't put the ball in the best player's hands that you had that night.
So who does that go on, though? Like, which decision maker does that go on?
This is Kellen Moore's fault.
Right.
He's calling the plays. Okay. This is the 5-yard out route, the quick out, that's on Kellen Moore. Okay. You telling me that you believe JG said, hey, line them up in empty, put Zeke at 1, want to run a quick out.
I'm with you on it. I'm with you on that. I mean,
not having it. Not having it. We don't run a pick route. We got the option king, the Hall of Fame option king. We have 2 100-yard receivers, and somehow we hit Zeke on a quick out. Didn't even give him a chance to read the coverage.
And he's going against Kendricks, who's one of the best cover linebackers in the NFL.
It was a diving catch at that. I'm looking like, you got to be kidding. Come on, man.
He was going to turn the corner. He was going to turn the corner after
that. We got Randall Cobb to take over Cole Beasley and run these routes across the middle and shake routes. And we came up with let's line up in empty. And they said they're going to stop Zeke. Nah, I'm going to prove them wrong. We ain't going to let him run.
Fool me once.
Yeah, but he going to catch this one. A diving.
Hey, we got him with this one, fellas. Thought he was going to kill him
with
it.
If he had a caught that pass, I'd have been like, ooh, that was a bad play call. but he saved us. But it just didn't let Dak do what he had been doing best pretty much his whole season.
Yeah.
Find a receiver, make the throw, make something happen, and
it just wasn't.
I just feel like it was a bad decision.
All right, Players Lounge. We've got more to get to about this game, and ultimately we'll dive into what are the Cowboys' playoff chances. We'll do that. But up next, a culinary debate that Danny McCray and I had. We'll bring you into it, Church, because I really feel like this is offensive. What Danny's trying to do is offensive. But we'll dive.
Not more offensive than this life conversation we had on episode 1. So let's go ahead.
That was disrespectful.
We'll dive into that next right here on the Players Lounge.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Whether you're into being a part of this or more into something like this, SeatGeek has the tickets to the events you love. It's the easiest way to find, buy, and sell tickets. Plus, with their deal score technology, they'll recommend the best seats in the house at the best value. So the next time you're craving this,
Hey, blue 20.
download the SeatGeek app and let's go. SeatGeek.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One score September 2019.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The Dallas Cowboys will host the 3rd annual Christmas at the Star, presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb, from November 22nd through December 21st. Taking place at the Star in Frisco. Enjoy free, family-friendly events throughout the holiday season, including the Christmas Spectacular presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb, and the opportunity to take a photo with Santa Claus. For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com. You guys go see that last year? I went, and let me tell you, you should go, because it is, especially if you got a family, because they just do a tremendous job. Went out there because they have somebody who lights the tree. So they brought out Woody, and we ended up going up one day, the day that Jerry and his wife lit the tree. And so I just stuck around and watched the show, and I said, man, this is a heck of a show. And, Jerry, the ultimate marketer, he says, I always thought I love the Rockettes and what they do out there, Radio City Music. So we should do something big, something like that here at the Star. And, Jerry came up with it, did it, and he was like, okay. And then it's free. So, I would definitely tell you. So November 22nd through the 21st, bring your family. I'm gonna bring my daughters up here to just check it out, because it's a great show. They put on a really nice show.
I have to check it out.
Oh yeah, at the end of this, we'll tell them. So I know they offer the kids to take pictures with Santa.
Yes, they said they.
I don't think that part is free.
Oh, the opportunity to.
But I do have a way to get them $10 off their picture with Santa. We'll talk about it at the end.
All right. Okay. He is Danny McCray. That's Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. You are listening to the Players Lounge. Now, we typically on this show seem to have debates that range outside of football, and that's okay. That's okay.
Perfectly fine.
Newy's always on the other side of this.
I don't know.
He's always on the other side. I don't know if he's agreeing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not afraid.
He kind of agrees. Yeah, I got it.
Bernie Mac said, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you guys. I'm not scared of the players. Okay? The media going to be right here all alone.
Here we go. All right, I bet y'all went and talk to special teams after that punt, right?
Good one's balling. Good one's balling.
Oh, he's balling, but I bet they didn't go find him. They went find Tavon.
Oh, you already know.
Why? All right, my bad. Okay,
fair catch that?
Okay, all right.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take up for myself right now.
Here we go.
Okay. After the game, I didn't go in the locker room because I had to come right on the field because the game was on NBC, so right after the game, I'm right there. So I didn't go in the locker room. I was right there on the field doing my thing. So I didn't get to go in the locker room.
So that saved you?
I didn't go in the
from
locker
having to make the decision.
I didn't have to go in the locker room.
He said saved you. Yes.
I don't got to be that guy.
You know what? After a game like that, I was like, Pat Doney got to go in there. Man.
Shout out to CJ, though, man. CJ's balling. He was our first and only guest so far on the show. But
Shouts out, man. Shout out, CJ.
Yeah, man, you'll be all right.
So, grits, a staple of the American Southern diet. You're from Pittsburgh.
It's a must, and I was heavy with the grits, too.
You're from Pittsburgh, so I wasn't sure your grit experience or not. But Danny and I, being guys who were raised in the South, dirty South, grits were on there. So, I can't remember who brought it up.
I just saw you tweet it.
I think it might have been my boy Xavier Pope or Jesse Holly. I can't remember.
It wasn't Jesse.
Okay, then it was Xavier.
Who originally said that it was bad. Yeah,
Xavier, and he said he liked sugar and grits. And I said, that's a no.
Like just outright?
No, I'm not putting sugar. It's not cream of wheat. Okay?
Sugar in the grit. With the butter, too? You mix it up?
Yeah, he said, I'm going to give first of all, I'm going to give you my top grits recipe. All right? Okay. It's a grits recipe. Just get you some regular grits first. All right? You get that, you put it in a bowl. Get you some syrup. Put that in there. A little dab of sugar and some grape jelly. Stir all that up. You got you a nice mix. And then you dip your toast in there.
Syrup and the jelly and
okay, none of that. None. That's not grits, man. That's cream of something.
What's the first thing I said you put in there?
You did say grits.
It's grits. The rest of that is condiments.
I have never ever heard of that. Ever.
But grits and sugar though.
Ever.
Grits, sugar, and butter.
Yes. Okay. So now this is okay. Good. I'm glad you told me. So this is how.
Don't forget to dip your toast in there. It has to be toasted. That way you can. I'm just saying.
You definitely got to put some your toast in the grits.
I'm rolling with a biscuit. Okay. I'm rolling with a biscuit.
Listen. Put it on the biscuit. Put the eggs on there and a little bacon. Make you a sandwich.
Now, butter and grits, just plain, not my thing.
Okay.
That's how my dad did it, and for a long time, I was like, I don't want these grits. I want these grits. Then I found cheese.
Cheese grits, that's fire too, though. That's fire too.
Not bad. So
that is fire too.
So some butter, some cheese, I'm good.
Give yourself some options, though.
Yeah, you got to mix it up.
Then I found bacon. So some cheese.
I never tried that.
Oh yeah,
never tried that.
Some bacon, some cheese. Bam, that's it. But I know I don't put sugar in them. I don't want them sweet. That's cream of wheat. If I want cream of wheat, I don't eat cream of wheat. I'm not putting it in grits.
That's not cream of wheat.
You just sitting there serving
sugar grits.
You serving up diabetes.
Sugar like candy. He asked me my favorite Halloween candy he want to ask about. Grits.
I done pulled in some sugar. We got some syrup. Here's some jelly.
This he had from the South.
I mean, what else did you leave out?
Sugar and everything. How much sugar you put in your Kool-Aid back in the day?
That thick Gregory. That's what I'm
about serving up. That's not if we talk about that. That's the same thing.
Y'all saw House Party.
We put sugar in rice.
Everything.
If they had rice, I put sugar in them.
Everything.
Look, I am the sugar freak. Okay. I don't smoke. I don't drink. My vice in life and problem is sugar. Me and sugar, we didn't sugar freak. We've been too friendly.
Gotcha.
But I don't do it in the grits. Man,
try the recipe, man. Try the recipe. I'm just saying. Get a spoonful. You'll be all right, man. Just try it. If you try, you tell me it's nasty.
I might. Then you just don't like. I don't know about the jelly, but the syrup. I'm gonna get down with the syrup.
I'm gonna let Church try it first.
I will.
You go ahead.
Hey, try it after we work out tomorrow.
I'm gonna try.
So
we're going right.
Danny's serving up sugar, a few grits.
A lot of grits.
Syrup, and grape jelly.
Yeah, grape. Grape is good with toast. And I also got my eggs and stuff on there. So at the end of the meal, I just stirred it all together. I put it on top of the toast.
So it was like a smorgasbord.
It's breakfast in a bowl.
I got you. You got a bowl.
Breakfast in a bowl. Yeah, it's a bowl. It's one of those big bowls. You know, the cereal bowl. It's a country crock. It's a country crock. It's not a real bowl. It's the leftover from the butter that you had the last time.
You do what you got to do.
Use it as a bowl.
So let me ask this, because this is how it works in South. Who first made this for you?
My big sister.
Okay.
She put sugar on everything.
It's a must.
If we don't have grits, then she made rice. That's how I got the sugar rice.
Sugar rice?
Yeah. She put sugar
That's
rice.
definitely fire too.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, man.
Sugar rice?
Same thing, butter with the sugar.
No, you haven't lived.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Sugar rice.
I'm telling you.
You have to make a rice pudding.
Nah, man. He turned everything into a dessert.
I knew he got to live a little bit, man. He got to live a little bit.
I don't want sugar in my rice.
Yeah, no.
Never heard.
You know what? He don't want it because he think he gonna get it. He gonna come in with a bowl. The players
when I was at the Giants game, the Cowboy Giants game, they had rice pudding. You know, I'm not.
That ain't the same.
Ain't no pudding.
I don't want some rice.
That's not the same.
So
Ain't
you
no pudding
guys,
in that, but.
you guys going over to Panda Express, putting sugar on your rice?
I don't know about the Panda Express.
No. Listen, I said it was a substitute for the grits. So it also goes for breakfast. Yeah, the Panda Express not open for breakfast. We didn't have grits in the pantry. So we had rice. It was mini rice too. So you get it quick. Boil the water, boom, let it sit.
I'm gonna just get
Put a little butter in there, sugar.
I put butter in the rice. I'm gonna butter in the rice.
Got to.
Okay.
Listen, try it out. Don't knock
disagree.
it.
Yeah, they can't knock it now.
Don't knock it.
There's a Houston thing.
That's not. He just said.
I'm from the Berg, way up north.
Okay. All right, fine.
We gonna get you.
We gonna get you, man.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I will. Yeah, I ain't coming to your house for brunch no time soon. So that's all.
Like, you just try.
Kids prepare to be disappointed.
Just try.
D-Mac serving sugar and everything.
Kids gonna love it.
We're coming back to Uncle D-Mac.
Uncle Danny grits at. Your grits don't taste like Uncle Danny's.
No, they don't.
Got a whole crock pot.
You know what? My kid, I knocked my headphone out.
Sugar grits gotta be excited.
No.
Who got my sugar?
You got sugar.
I got these cheeseburgers too.
Cheeseburger.
No, we're not serving up sugar grits.
Yeah, it's all right.
No, stop. Just stop. Okay, fine. Let me.
I can't wait.
Let me continue. I was gonna say. Let me continue to make Danny's day here. Ohio State is currently number 1 in the college football playoff. I spoke with Devin Smith in the locker room last week with Clarence Hill and Jock Taylor.
He gonna get back on the field,
and we discussed whether or not Ohio State should have been number 1.
I hope your discussion came out as no.
Well, I wanted to get his opinion.
Okay.
As the Buckeye, I wanted to get his opinion, and he felt that they should have been. And my thing was simply, it'll be a 1-week deal.
Yeah, they haven't played nobody.
That whoever won the Alabama LSU game was going to go elevate themselves number 1.
No doubt.
So they've got the college football playoff ranking tonight, and they do it over in Grapevine. So that's where the college football playoff is headquartered, right there in Grapevine, across the street. Yeah, the Big 12 is on one side of the street. Big 12 headquarters on the other side of the street is where they have the college football.
So I
playoff.
know where to go if we not number 1 tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and the final.
You know who to go see.
I know where to go see if we not number 1 tonight.
And the final ranking, they'll do the final ranking over at the Gaylord Hotel. So,
but you never really answered that. You said it's a 1-week thing, so you try to stay neutral. Should Ohio State have been number 1?
I wouldn't have put in there.
Thank you,
but,
they ain't playing nobody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll freely admit I'll have the SEC bias there. I just think it's the gauntlet that you go through is tougher than it is in the Big Ten. But I am this has always been my opinion with this thing. I believe they throw some of this stuff out here for TV purposes to go ahead and get people debating and talking, and to throw it off the scent of, well, we don't want to hear say it's SEC bias, so we're going to put Ohio State number 1. The winner of the Alabama-LSU game is LSU, should be number 1 tonight. And Ohio State will fall down, and then thus more debate. Well, should Ohio State be knocked down? They didn't. They put the whooping on Maryland. They did their part. I do think a lot of this is theatrical.
Where does Bama go?
They got to be out of the top 4, right?
Well, Penn State lost. So they lost by 5.
Yeah.
Clemson
undefeated. They got to get back in the top 4.
Where does Bama go?
Oof.
Because you got 1 spot left now.
That's tough. So who? I'm trying to think.
You got Oklahoma and Baylor playing this week, so I put them out.
What you got? You got Ohio State right now, or last week. So you got Ohio State,
LSU, Alabama,
Penn State. Penn State lost, right?
And so did Alabama.
So Penn State might not even be in the top 10.
And see, here's an interesting thing, because Minnesota's undefeated, and Penn State lost on the road. Alabama lost at home. How do you factor that in? Does that matter? Or is it the fact that LSU, in my opinion, is the better football team? You lost at home, but you lost to a football team that has an argument to be the number 1 team in the country. Mm-hmm. Penn State did not lose to a team that has that. So I mean, that's once again, it's the beauty of the TV show of what they want to put out there and how you throw it out there. I am of the opinion, having watched that football game, that these are two evenly matched football teams, and LSU was better that day.
Yeah.
This is an Alabama football team. If we're going to talk about the 4 best teams in the country, I think Alabama is one of the 4 best teams in the country.
I would agree with you on
And I think
that.
last week we saw the 2 best, arguably 2 of the 4 best teams, if not 2 of the best 3 teams in the country.
Do you put Clemson in there? Do you put Clemson in the top 4?
I got to interrupt
national
here.
champion.
They'll be
Hold
there.
on.
They'll be there based on being undefeated.
Hold on. We did all this as the LSU Tigers just for y'all to come on here and say that Alabama and LSU are equal. If we just went in their house and beat them, we had a 20-point lead on this team. We are the better team. Not that night. We are the better team. We're not evenly matched. We have the better quarterback. We have the better group of receivers. Running backs may be equal. Maybe equal.
You say y'all
But we are not evenly matched. Our receiver, our group. They have 2. We have 3. A tight end,
You need to go
a running back.
Well, then you and Broadus and Hellman need to go do that little podcast.
Hey
where I can
man,
play around.
hey,
We better hear
you
that.
watched it. You watched it.
I didn't get to watch most of it.
And he gonna come on here and give some real insight about how they evenly matched.
I was getting ready to have your back
How
too.
dare you?
I listened.
They were up by 20
radio
points,
call.
and I gotta hear everybody talk about the fumbles and this and that. People fumble. It's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
Part of the game.
It's part
We
of the
went
game.
into their house while they was ranked number 3, and we beat them.
Unless you won, they
We are the better team. We undefeated. They not. We got a Heisman front runner on our team. Who just he proved. I told you.
You going through all. What did I say?
told
Did I
you.
not say they were number 1?
You did.
Okay.
Huh?
Yes, I did.
They're
I
number
said-
one.
And then after that he said, yeah, but Alabama is just as good. They just weren't as good as them that day.
They weren't.
As I said, Joe
They
Burrow
weren't.
jumped over Tua. He proved it. We talked about this earlier.
Oh, yeah,
they
we
would
did.
go against each
We
other,
did.
and one of them
And he
would
won.
outduel each other, and Joe Burrow did it. Joe Burrow for Heisman. Papa those. We on our way, baby. We on our way to Papa those.
We will see.
Was I right about these LSU
I will tell you
fans?
this. I'll tell you
LSU
this.
fans.
Yeah, you was
I'll
right
tell you
about
this.
that.
You all are right there with the Texas Longhorn
Barry went for
fan,
Alabama
the
too.
Aggie fan,
So he's upset
the
as you.
Ohio State fan. You got all right there together.
Oh, we
man.
better than them. We travel. Our stadium's better. Everything is better about
By the
us.
way, who was the young man that was crying?
22.
The coach was holding him, and who was the
Yeah,
young
that
man
was
crying?
22. The best running back on the field.
What's his name?
It's,
You saw the
Hilaire.
video, right? You saw the video.
Yeah, what that got to do with
And
anything?
then Ogeron was crying. It just shows you that's what it means when you beat the man, when you beat the standard. You know that's how much it means to you. You had to crying on the sideline.
So he watched the clip. You know what the dude was crying for? Because he got passed up on by all of the schools that he's played against, and he got a chance to prove them wrong, and he had the biggest game of his life.
As I said, Barry, that's what happens when it means that much more when you beat Saban. You beat the standard. It means more.
No,
The
if they go
standard.
back, who you got if they have to do a rematch? Who you got, Newy?
LSU.
You got LSU in the rematch as well. So they're a better team.
Yeah, you can't say they
I said
even,
they
but
should
they
be
was
number
better
one.
that day. But on a different day, maybe Alabama could win.
Maybe we'll
Listen,
see it. Maybe
the
we'll see it
man
in the
had the
playoffs.
right to
Let's
cry,
take a
and
break.
they
We'll
fine.
see.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get back into the Dallas Cowboys
Go
and their
Tigers.
playoff chances and
Let's
the
do it.
football phrase of the day here on the Players Lounge.
Go Tigers.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One score September 2019.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper Soft Coolers at OtterBox.com.
Whether you're into being a part of this or more into something like this, SeatGeek has the tickets to the events you love. It's the easiest way to find, buy, and sell tickets. Plus, with their deal score technology, they'll recommend the best seats in the house at the best value. So the next time you're craving this,
Blue 20.
the SeatGeek app and let's go. SeatGeek.
Hey Cowboys Nation, this season when the Cowboys win, you get to experience the sweet taste of victory because if the Cowboys win, the next day Dunkin' is offering a free medium hot or iced coffee. So don't just celebrate the Cowboys' success from the sidelines, head to Dunkin' and treat yourself to real victory. Because this season, Cowboys fans aren't only winning on game day, they're winning the next day too with a free medium coffee. Cowboys Nation runs on Dunkin'. Excludes cold brew. Limit 1 per guest. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Join us at another official Dallas Cowboys watch party presented by AT&T on Sunday, November 24th. Enjoy a festive game day atmosphere on Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Star in Frisco as the Dallas Cowboys take on the New England Patriots. Admission and parking is free. Visit thestarinfrisco.com for details. I'm Newy Scruggs. He's Barry Church. This is Danny McCray. This is the Players Lounge. Back after a bye week off. It was technically my bye week because I couldn't get the plane.
His bye week.
Ticket right.
His bye. He couldn't get the plane.
Okay. So let's talk about the Cowboys' playoff chances. There are 7 games left in the season. Cowboys with a 5-4 record, tied with the Eagles for first place. The record of these teams is 32-30-1. Starts Sunday in Detroit. We don't know if Detroit will have quarterback Matthew Stafford. And then after that is a road game against the New England Patriots. They end the month of November with this game, a Thanksgiving Day game at home against the Buffalo Bills. All right, gentlemen, Cowboys playoff chances, what you got?
I'm saying,
go ahead.
Hey, I'm thinking if we're going percentage-wise, I'm gonna say the percentages, I'm going to give them 75%.
Let's go this way. All right.
What you want to do?
7 games left.
Yep.
Last year, second half of the season, Cowboys was fantastic. They only lost 1 game.
Yeah,
right
I was a part of one of those beatdowns.
Right to my point. Playing into
and
the
of
slow
course,
starts.
They had to get backed up against the wall in order to come out and play
That's
that
when
way.
they play their best.
So they're sitting here at 5-4. What do you think their record ends up being? I called 10-6 to start the season. That was what I had called. So that just means if they're going to go 10-6 down the stretch here, where we got 7 games left, I mean they got to go 5-2. They got to go 5-2 to make me look like Nostradamus.
I'm 10-6.
You 10-6 still?
I'm 10-6.
Still? So you got a 5-2?
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Based off what I've seen.
Church?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'll go 10-6 with y'all. It's either 10-6.
You say 9-7. Go ahead. It's okay. It's okay.
I might.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go 9-7, man.
I'm
gonna go 9-7, man. I'm gonna go 9-7.
You know what? Well, just because it's Newy and Church, I got 11-5.
All right. So we got 11-5, 10-6, and 9-7.
Put me down for 11-5.
He put. Hey, it's on paper now. 11-5.
11-5.
They were gonna lose one to the Patriots.
Listen,
That's all they're gonna lose.
I have not been wrong since I've been on the Players Lounge, especially about this football.
What?
Don't sleep on the Jets.
Oh, there was a previous one before that.
Which one I said?
You said something.
No, that was on your other TV show.
Can we double up our
No. The Tigers and the Cowboys are 2 different teams.
Okay, so the Heisman race stays the same. So okay, all right. So
11-5.
I didn't say they was going to lose to the Patriots. How dare you?
You got 1 loss in there.
Yeah.
So they gonna beat the Patriots?
Nah, the last game is the one they're gonna lose because they already it's gonna be locked already.
Okay, so you got 11-5. What we put?
So got
you looking for a bet? You got to.
You see the intro.
He couldn't wait.
So he said 11-5.
You see the wheel spinning.
I'm about to lose. I'm losing this Joe Burrow Heisman bet. Okay.
You got to break even.
Okay. I'm losing. I'm trying to.
Episode 8. He's conceded victory.
What you say? It take 8 episodes, huh? 8 episodes.
I'm trying not to go to that restaurant that I've been taking. I'm trying to get out of it. So I see. I'm running through this window. I see a window I can run through here, Church.
That's not a bet I'm willing to make.
Okay, so
that's not a bet I'm willing to make.
11-5.
Gotcha. All right.
But I think we're really about to get rolling.
So
Dak is playing amazing.
He is. So we got Detroit.
6-1. So you got 6-1.
Buffalo.
Detroit, Buffalo.
No, Detroit, New England.
Buffalo.
New England.
I know you got Philly somewhere in there.
Buffalo. Then it's Chicago.
And then Philly, Washington.
New England, Philly?
I think it's the Rams. The Rams are the 15th in December.
15.
Rams 15th.
22nd is
Philly.
And
that's
the last
Washington.
And then Washington.
Washington is the game that we lose.
6, 7. Okay.
on purpose. Not on purpose, but because
you're saying we already got it wrapped up.
Yeah, with some people
that's a tough. Like I said, I'm saying 9-7.
You got to. This what happens when you look at that schedule. Name one of those teams, really, because the Patriots just got embarrassed. One of those teams who have not been beaten and who we really don't have a chance to beat.
That we don't have. I mean, they got a chance to beat anybody.
I'm just talking
the
about
Cowboys talent.
Yeah,
they can beat
anybody in the league.
So none of those are for sure loss, right? We can go in and we can pick up some steam.
You got a chance to beat all of them.
Which one do you believe is a sure loss? New England? Why? They just got embarrassed.
To one of the most elite running quarterbacks in the game.
I just saw something about Jerry saying he wanted Dak ain't no
what
Lamar. He ain't no Lamar Jackson. But he said he want Dak to use his legs some more.
My man getting his hips right.
What song was the? Hey, the memes are hilarious.
Jason Garrett out-dueling Bill Belichick.
His team.
Mm-hmm.
His team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would say that about Harbaugh out-dueling Belichick.
Harbaugh got a ring.
But he did. He out-dueled him.
He's got a ring.
I see.
He's got a ring.
Detroit.
He's beat Bill Belichick in the playoffs.
If Stafford don't play, Detroit's terrible. Detroit, we might as well. We can put them off the thing.
Okay. It's about us.
Trash.
I hate to say that, but it's really about us and how we come out and play.
Detroit was in that game against the Bears. I mean, Trubisky?
Yeah, come on, man.
Come on.
Yeah, we just.
So I'm just saying. You know,
who's Detroit quarterback? Who's his backup? The kid from Florida, I think, right? Driscoll. Come on, man.
He's not gonna do that, Newy. Newy, you're not gonna do that, are you? Come on. Pick which 2 games do they lose?
I'm gonna say which 2 games they gonna lose.
You got 3 games.
Yeah, I got.
You said 9-7. You got 3 more games.
I did go 9-7.
Yes, you did. So pick 3 more. Pick 3 of them teams on there. You think they're gonna lose to the Patriots?
I hope they don't lose.
The Rams and the Bills.
Okay, you got 3. So right now,
Patriots.
Okay, that's at New England.
I think Philly gonna get them
at
in the
Philly.
next go around.
Okay, that's at Philly. That's okay.
And then it's gonna be a shocker, but can't sleep on Buffalo, man. Buffalo's coming here though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you can't sleep on Buffalo. They got good defense.
Good defense.
The Cole Beasley revenge game.
Hey, Cole Beasley's been playing well.
I mean, he got like 6 TDs.
He's been playing well. What?
Here we go. No, I saw
something, man.
Just wrote down, man. I need some tea.
He's been playing well.
He has.
Okay.
I mean, he has like 6 tubs.
I saw about 40.
I think he got 200 yards receiving, but got 6 tubs.
Yeah, no, he's in the red zone. He's making plays.
Okay.
So I said, Washington, you have Buffalo, New England, and the Rams?
No. Rams don't look. I don't like those.
So
Rams
Buffalo, New England, Philly.
I think Philly gonna get them in the next go.
Newy, listen. Pick 2 now. Don't go neutral.
Rams, New England.
You got the Rams. Is it Ram here in LA?
Here. It's here.
Uncle Wade.
December 15th.
He knows what's coming. Hey, until once again, we're talking about when I look at New England and also look at the Rams, these are 2 teams who can run the football. And what do we know with the Cowboys? Can you stop their run game?
And they can match up on the outside. They can put 8 in the box.
Actually, I don't know. The Rams,
they can leave Rams.
Have not been running the ball well.
Offensively, the Rams are trash.
They have not been running the ball well.
The Rams are trash offensively right now.
Look, to me, right now with the way Jared Goff is playing, I'm trying to figure out everything I can to stop the run, but. All I know is through the years, even when the Rams were good, remember that time Pac-Man Jones said, "It's the Rams, dude." Next thing you know, they've had issues with the Rams through the years.
This is true.
I don't think the Rams are going to run the ball on us.
Wade Phillips. Wade's still salty. Wade's still.
I got one loss in that.
Ski mask off.
I got one loss in that. I think it's going to be the last one. Could possibly be New England. Possibly.
I mean, they match up well.
Actually,
they match up.
We go
well,
to Chicago on 12-5.
It's a Thursday game.
In Chicago.
So you know what? Not New England. Not New England.
Bricks out there.
Chicago or Washington at the end.
So MVP Mitch getting it done.
No, it's not Mitch. It's the defense.
Young Khalil.
Young Khalil. That's what I'm talking about.
They took that man 3rd overall. They took Trubisky 3rd overall. I still can't wrap my head around that one.
Well, yeah.
No. Didn't they trade up to 2?
Oh, yeah. Man, I'm tripping. They traded up to 2.
No, they took him. He was over 2 more quarterbacks.
I do got a question, though. Speaking of the Cowboys' playoffs opportunities, do you think this defense can only go as far as that linebacking trio can take them? Do you think that's That's the heartbeat. That's the glue.
I don't want to put it just on them. I think they can't be weak at any level because it all affects, everything affects, it's all right there. I mean, they're not. This isn't. Seem the 85 Bears. I mean, this is linebacker. If the D line's not playing well, it's going to be a problem. The linebackers aren't playing. If the DBs, they've got to be a true unit.
They got to be a true. Okay.
They have to be a true unit. When did they play their best game? When they play together as a true unit. So they can't afford anyone to slip. We didn't get our football phrase of the day, so I want to make sure we get that before we run out of here. So in that situational football, that's the football phrase here. Situational football.
Situational football. And this came up, and Church touched on it a little bit earlier with the fair catch, right? Situational football, right? There are two situations that you focus on in that particular instance. One, you have 5-6 seconds left. You want to get a chance to get a Hail Mary. You think that the punt will give you wherever it lands at, the quarterback has enough arm to get it to the end zone. So you tell them automatically, fair catch it, so we have some time to run this last Hail Mary play. Second situation is you run a hold up like you did there, and you assume that with 13, 17 seconds left, that you can get a return, get some yardage, get out of bounds, and then maybe you run a play and then toss to the end zone. Situational football. These are things that we go over in practice and in training camp all throughout the year for when these things come up, we're prepared for it. It's not like everybody's shocked. Same thing with going for it on fourth down and 2-point conversions. In situational football, I guarantee you that throughout training camp and OTAs, they stopped practice. Jason Garrett got them all in the huddle, and he said, hey, the situation here is we need 4th and 2 with this many seconds left, and we need to figure out how to get it done, right? So this is something that goes on throughout training camp, through our OTAs. So when you see this type of stuff come up and you say, hey, man, the coaches, this is all on JG, this is on this person, whatever. Most of the time, you would hope that they've been in this situation and they've repped it so they know what to do in this moment. And unfortunately, in the play that we saw earlier, situational football was just it was not up to par.
I mean, we saw it. I mean, they practice it every Friday. Every Fast Friday. It's a 2-minute. It's a Hail Mary situation. It's a fair catch situation.
It's some situations that we used to go over that you'd be like, Coach, this ain't never
no way it's going to happen.
We do no mas, so we have a situation called no mas, right? So you have 1 minute left in the game, and you're down by 6. You're down by 1. Whatever it is, you're down by a certain amount of time. The opposing, you're on defense, the offense can run out the rest of the clock.
Going back to what you talked about with the punt, so just pulled it up here. 23 seconds left.
23
was when they ended up making the punt. So the Cowboys had the ball 1st and 10 at the 46 with 24 seconds left. And just kind of going back to what you were saying, trying to save some time versus by making the fair catch versus running there. So maybe if he runs, takes what? Maybe 7, 8 seconds.
Well, the way that was set up, probably 10 because he's running to the end zone. Oh. But yeah, I got you.
At least to the 30.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, but
so you would have.
I would have took the yards.
I was gonna say it's what do you want to trade? Do you want to trade time or you want to trade yards? And clearly, from what you're saying, having been a special teams guy, there was a lot of yards to gain right there, which would have been worth the time because you were already trying to get that back once you got the football anyway.
Yeah. Well, because what happens is if you you're going to call fair catch, if you're going to tell the returner to call fair catch, then you run a punt block. Exactly. Not a hold-up, right? Yeah. So now you're like defeating the purpose of even having that situation going.
That's true.
If I'm telling Tavon to call fair catch, then I'm rushing everybody. We're trying to go block the punt. There's no point. You're just wasting your guys on that.
It's all about communication.
Listen, it made no sense. Situational football, which also involves communication, was just not up to par in that situation.
You got to find out what happened. You got to get to your sources,
I am
man.
Telling no names. I'll try to find out what actually happened, but there will be no names or finger pointed coming from me.
Out the names
like I said, my friends on the other side of that building.
Let's spend the last 2 minutes here talking about. First off, we know Prescott and Cooper were sensational in the game. Dak with 397 yards passing through 3 touchdowns. Amari Cooper caught one of those touchdowns, and in the game, 11 catches, 147 yards. Better combo, Dak Amari or Tony Romo, Dez Bryant? Guys,
I'm gonna go Dez, Tony, just off of the simple fact of the touchdowns. I mean, they're in the record books of the connection they had together. I mean, he's had over, I think, like 70-some touchdowns with Romo. Now, over time, maybe if they get them both signed here again for the future, they can take that over. But just off of history alone, stats alone, that connection was historical.
Yeah, I'm going Dez and Romo for those reasons and the chemistry that they had. It was less of them having to run the right routes and do all that stuff. It was he saw Dez knew he was throwing the ball, and it was so many of those instances where it was jump ball for Dez, and Romo could put it right in that position.
They're both basketball players.
Yeah.
They because of their height, they went to football, but they're both basketball players. Tony, all-state basketball guy up in Wisconsin. We know Dez's basketball ability. It seemed at times that that's what they were doing, just kind of like looking at each other on the basketball court, knowing where to go. But I'll say this. With these two guys both being free agents, I expect them to be Cowboys, talking about Cooper and Dak. They're both young. You put these guys together here for another 7 or 8 years, and they should be able to make some challenges to those numbers because they have a chemistry.
I mean, I think he got 19 touchdowns. Or it's something ridiculous since he's been here.
He's going crazy. But I mean, and that's, to me, that's like team and scheme and all that. Just with Dez and Romo, that was like they had a connection.
They had a mind, man. It wasn't like he knew when he was going to turn. It was nuts.
Every time.
You got that Alabama receiver right there getting it done for him. So he had in his business roll tide.
They both took an L. They both took an L this week.
Hey, knew he was late for that one.
Rolling out here like Odell Beckham Jr. with all these issues and everything. All right, that is the Players Show.
That's how you gonna cut the show.
That's the Players Lounge. That's the Players Lounge. That's our show.
Wait.
You have something to promote?
So you are able to get $10 off of your picture with Santa by signing up to come to one of our youth camps, a holiday camp, on December 30th or January 2nd. You can sign up now at www.dallascowboys.com/academy. I will be there coaching the kids. We have cheerleaders and DC R&B there, so y'all go sign up and get your $10 off.
Kids, wear your Amari Cooper jerseys, whether it's the Alabama jersey or the Cowboys jersey. Make sure you do that.
Don't wear that.
That's Barry Church.
Yes, sir.
He's Danny McCray. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?